and the presence of Blomberg and Raeder gave credence to rumors that the purpose of the cruise was to discuss the future of Germany's military, a subject that had provoked severe disagreements between Ernst Röhm, head of the paramilitary Sturmabteilung, or SA, and the Reichswehr leadership, particularly Blomberg. Indeed, historians have speculated that it was on this voyage that Hitler agreed to address the threat to the military and to his own position posed by the defiant SA, resulting in the bloody liquidation of the organization's leaders and hundreds of political opponents 11 weeks later, during what became known as the Night of the Long Knives. In his interview, Carlson did not hint at any darker preoccupations troubling the Führer. Instead, he portrayed Hitler as delighted and mesmerized by his encounter with the Norwegian landscape, standing on deck without stirring and watching for hours. Hitler, he reported, spent practically all his time at the bridge and enthused like a little boy over the mountains and the magnificent weather. He was particularly impressed by the beauty of Balestrand, of which, as he recounted, he had heard so much, and which became famous throughout Germany owing to the Emperor's visits. The Deutschland stopped briefly at Balestrand, but did not dock. This picturesque village, jutting out into the blue waters of the fjord, had been a favorite destination of Emperor Wilhelm II on his annual summer trips to Norway. Here, while on vacation in July 1914, he helped steer Europe into war. Compelled to return to Berlin by a nervous German government, he never saw his beloved Norway again. Bergens Tidende, Bergen Times, which broke the story of Hitler's visit, connected the Kaiser's final voyage north with the Chancellor's inaugural foray abroad, alluding to a history coming full circle. Across from Balestrand, the Deutschland passed the colossal statue of legendary Viking hero Fridtjof, which Emperor Wilhelm II erected above Vangsnes in the summer of 1913 as a gift to the Norwegian people. The cruiser then sailed to the hamlet of Gudvangen at the end of the Nærøy fjord. Hitler did not make it quite as far as Stalheim, another regular destination of the Kaiser, who stayed at its Grand Hotel many times. Finally, the Deutschland proceeded down the adjoining Aurlandsfjord, with its snow-covered peaks and waterfalls, before exiting the Sognefjord and sailing southward. The next day, Friday, April 13th, with a different Norwegian pilot on board, the Deutschland continued its voyage, entering the Hardangerfjord. The ship traveled its entire length to reach Odda, another of the Kaiser's favorite places, and on the way back paused at the village of Ulvik. As they had the previous day, the Deutschland's passengers remained on board at all times. The Norwegian pilot disembarked in Leirvik, and the ship headed out to sea, arriving in Hamburg on Saturday, April 14th, 4 days after its departure. Bergens Tidende reported that the Führer and his entourage were highly impressed by the western Norwegian fjord's mighty nature, and the Reich Chancellor appeared to want to repeat the visit at an opportune time. The article concluded by noting that the glorious weather had allowed the fjords to present themselves most advantageously, although one could have wished the Reich Chancellor to see these areas slightly later, when the fruit trees are in bloom. Hitler's photographer, Heinrich Hoffmann, documented the Deutschland's voyage in the fjords. His photographs capture the dramatic power of the Norwegian landscape, which he juxtaposed with the Deutschland's enormous guns. Hitler appears frequently on deck, gazing at the fjords in the company of Raeder and Blomberg. The sailors energetically swab the deck and perform gymnastics in the spring weather. Everyone seems to be having a wonderful time. German battleships continued to sail into Norwegian waters that spring and summer.